people, Deluded, I'm back again. Now I've been to Ryman's and I've got a few minutes to make a video, so why not? Something of nothing really. There is nothing really to say of significance, people. But first and foremost, I'll mention, which I forgot to mention in my last video today that I've done here, Lundberg speaking on Bukayo Saka's performance. He said he was amazing. He was a bit upset with me before the game that he had to play wing back and full back. He's a tremendous talent. His final ball and last bit is always effective, and that's 100% true. Saka clearly doesn't want to play as a full back, but he didn't let that. He put his own personal opinion and persona and bravado aside for the team and the collective, and he had a consistent game there. And because of his attitude and his adaptability and just able to perform in a number of roles, it goes against him because he's played, despite being very good as on either flank, like he's shown last season at 23s, primarily with Amici and breaking through, like he's shown this season breaking through at all levels really. But equally, I've actually seen him play left and right back, people. He wants to clearly be a winger long term. But you can't discount the experiences you learn defensively from playing in wing back. Granted, not necessarily in a game like Standard Liège where, yeah, we were under the cosh at moments, but would I say it was a game where Saka had to learn anything really defensively? No, but he's a good player and it's nice to see someone with some consistency. Moving on from that, people. Apparently, Pep Guardiola has a break clause in his contract which enables him to leave at the end of the season should he wish. Should he do that, apparently Manchester City want Pochettino. Very much doubt Pochettino could turn that role down. Obviously, we've been linked with Poch, whether that happens, which I don't believe is going to happen or not. I wonder how much that affects Arteta's future, because Arteta's seen as the long-term heir to City, allegedly. So, obviously, Arteta's had Arsenal interest, allegedly Everton interest, also earmarked to City interest. So could that put a spanner in the works for Arteta? Could he want to wait until the end of the season to move to Arsenal if he was going to consider moving in midway through the season, if at all? Who knows, people? Apparently, if Arteta leaves, then Giovanni Van Bronckhorst will step up the pyramid and go into that role, which is another one you might not be able to rule out long term, getting a look in, people. Saying that though, the Daily Mail, well, that was the Daily Mail, I believe someone from El Mundo in Spain has said Pep Guardiola won't stand in Arteta's way should he want to become Arsenal boss. And like I said, Van Bronckhorst is being briefed and prepped to take over Arteta's position, people. Moving on, and Ashley Cole, and that's a name that will annoy a lot of Arsenal fans, has gone on to say some words about Arsenal, people. And I have to sit like this because the paper's blown everywhere, but he said, I don't think Arsenal's a step down for anyone. It's still a big club. Yes, they've not won a lot in past seasons, but I think their starting 11 is definitely good enough. Maybe the defence needs to defend more, but they've definitely got the quality and attacking threat. Not sure about starting 11, but we definitely have a better starting 11 to play better than performances have dictated, obviously. And obviously, that's putting it nice, actually. Cole, we need some better defenders. We need to change our whole outlook as a team, psychologically, tactically, and just on the field, physically, how we approach defending from back to front, from everybody involved, from the strikers to the obvious defenders, people. He's gone on to say, there were a lot of people saying Wenger out, then Wenger went, and maybe the fans understood what he actually did for the club and how he kept it together. And I do think there's some truth in that. People obviously saw that certain people made out that Wenger leaves and everything's going to improve and it's going to be sunshine and rainbows, when as much as he did a lot right and a lot wrong, he was just one fragment of the club. He obviously had Glaziders, he had multiple people. Now we obviously see with the board, new members and old, we're seeing what people aren't doing. It was never just going to be one person be able to magically change us. Wenger still needed to step down, let's put that right. But yeah, man, the buck didn't just stop at Wenger. Depending on how you look at it, some people are pro Wenger, some people can't stand the name of the man, certain people are on the fence and just in the middle and can concede that he's a great manager. He just needed to step down. Moving on from that though, Demiral of Juventus, centre half. We need centre halves. He was playing for Sassuolo not too long ago. Turkish international, strong, decent ball player, fairly good in the air, somewhat 21 or 22, not the oldest. Don't know how he'd get on in the Premier League, but he's been admired by us, Man United, and a lot of teams. Apparently, because of barely playing at Juventus, we already know he wants to keep it moving, and he's been linked with us again, actually, people, in January. Can we do that on loan? Can we do that permanently? Only God knows. I'd like to see it because we just need any centre half. But he said in relation to his future, he's playing coy. He said, I concentrate on my work My entourage and the club take care of the market. If something happens, they will contact me. So that's very diplomatic, and that's someone that doesn't really want to burn any bridges necessarily at Juventus, people. Finally, people, I want to speak in relation to Arsenal's top 4 hopes or just Europa League. First and foremost, I'll mention a segment I saw of The Athletic. It said Arsenal's failure to qualify for the Champions League has already had a significant impact. Revenue fell 35 million, 8%, from 423 million to 388 million in 2017-18. However much it looks in 18-19, I don't know. Probably inflated with better commercial deals, specifically Adidas and stuff. But there's no way, regardless of being a mathematician or a finance man, you can't underestimate financial rewards of Champions League and how much it hurts this club. Allegedly, we miss out on 45 million this season. If we miss out on Champions League, just incompetence, that's 45 million down the drain. However much it costs to get rid of Emre and his backroom staff, that's almost over 50, maybe even touching 60 million. Anything from 45 to 60 million in the drain, just because as a direct consequence of not performing on the football field and not having enough foresight to realise the spine of this club isn't good enough. Tactically, we need to improve in several aspects. You fail to prepare, you prepare to fail, and time again, this is what Arsenal is. We haven't got this way as a club by accident. This has been years of mismanagement, previous managers, new boardroom, old boardroom. One variable being the owners of this club or the dynasty that this family have in terms of the Kroenkes. So yeah, in relation to top 4, as woeful as Arsenal have been and all of these segments that can be said, mathematically it can be done. What, are we on 22 points or so, and Chelsea, forgive me if I'm wrong, are on 29 away from goal difference? Of course, that's not the biggest of points gap. Of course it can be done. Why I don't have confidence, there's all the confidence in the world mathematically, and you can say if and buts, but for me, I look at a team as soldiers in the trenches. We are not showing the consistency levels, the galvanization levels to be able to go to Everton away. First and foremost, Manchester City versus Arsenal at home, Everton away, Bournemouth away in these periods. We've got to play United, and I'm so sure we've got to play Chelsea a couple of times. Regardless of our ability, do I have confidence in my players' abilities to stand up, show grit, determination, and fight consistently in all these games and win games you're not supposed to win, not lose when you're supposed to lose and things? No, because you can't, because of the constant silly mistakes we make defensively and switching off and lapses in concentration. The players are not respecting themselves, they're not respecting the goals they set with Emre in August in relation to getting top 4. The players don't want top 4, and what I mean by that is, obviously they want to play Champions League, but it's about what you're doing, what the fans don't see. It's about how badly do you want it. We used to have players that won a league title on our rival's ground, a former player at that of a rival. Keepers and centre-halves want to tear each other apart, not because they don't care about the league titles, because they care about their performance and they really crave absolute excellence as professionals. I don't think we collectively as a 26-man squad do, because if we did, mistakes happen, and it's down to the coaching and the players to improve, but mistakes made several times is a choice. To have a lack of fight is a choice. These players don't want it bad enough, people. So that's why I don't have any faith. If the players prove me wrong and show me this and show me something to get behind, of course I'll change my tune. Look at Liverpool. If you put Liverpool in our situation and just take away the 11s and whatnot, obviously their quality, they'll still be challenging for the league and whatnot. But you can say Liverpool, if they were in this situation and we took all of them players and put them in Arsenal, they'll get through it, because Klopp is just an extra ear. Klopp is the manager, but you don't think Van Dijk and Henderson and all these guys galvanate each other and want it individually? They're scared to let down another man. Robertson is scared to let down his centre-halves. The centre-halves are scared to let down the keepers. The team collectively is scared to let down the managers and the fans. I'm not saying Arsenal's don't say that or feel that, but I'm not seeing that on the football field consistently. That's why I don't believe in top 4 people. Look at it, it's Europa League or bust. You're seeing Inter Milan, Ajax, and I believe Bayer Leverkusen, I might be wrong, couple top teams dropping down into the Europa League. Now, we can get to the final if we show on the basis of last season, but there's some tough teams on top of Man United, and we've got a young team based on the way we're playing. I can't confidently say we'll show enough of a cerebral approach to get through to the latter stages of that competition. It's firmly that or bust for us, as we know. I mean, just looking at our domestic campaign, we've got City, then we've got Everton next week away from home. Thursday, Boxing Day, sees us play Bournemouth away from home. On the 29th, we play Chelsea. New Year's 2020 starts off against us versus Manchester United. We then, it's a bit irrelevant, but you've got the FA Cup, which I want to win as an Arsenal fan because we've got nothing more, against Leeds. You've got Crystal Palace away from home, which Selhurst Park is not. It's always a ground that fills me with concern. It's very much an old school ground. You're very much close to the ground. Palace are always rocking. Palace always up for Arsenal home and away recently. So, do you get it? We've got to play them. Then we welcome Sheffield United to our place. Now, currently, I swear Sheffield have one of the best away records in the league, and Sheffield showed us what they're about at home. So that's going to be a difficult game. When we get out of this period, people, we then, in no order, I believe we have Burnley and Chelsea away. So we've got to go to Turf Moor and Stamford Bridge. When last did we win in the league at Stamford Bridge? When Andre Santos and Walcott or Van Persie, I can't remember who scored, but one of them games there, I can't remember people in the league domestically. I can't remember, and Burnley away is always going to be tough regardless of their current form. They're going to turn it on for Arsenal. You know Sean Dyche likes to spoil our team. If the players are galvanised and they're sitting there and they're going to show me fight and they can get through this period, then I'll have all the confidence. But for me, I don't. So on that note, I'm going to get out of here, people. DG.